Listen, it's a very
Sorry, I'm sorry. The way
no,
I
it's
said
okay.
Clive.
Oh yeah, no, so
this, that is one God. So I'm
exactly. So that's the whole basis. But that's the whole basis of the belief of Islam. So Islam is from the root word Islama, right? Islama means to submit. So anybody who submits to the one true Almighty God is a Muslim. That's Islam. That's where Islam comes from. So in Islam, we believe in one Almighty Creator, created the heavens, the earth, the universe, angels, jinn, and human being. So after he created human beings, he sent us guidance. How did he send us guidance? In the form of Noah, Abraham, Moses, David, Solomon, Jesus, Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon all of them, right? So he sent us all of these messengers to us as guidance on how we should live our life, what's right, what's wrong, according to God. Now, what happened is, as this message came, it was either lost or corrupted, or humans just go astray. This is why you'll see this pattern throughout history. You'll see this pattern throughout history of God sending a prophet or messenger to the people. They go astray. He sends another one and another one and another one and another one, and it was a continuous pattern all the way to Jesus, and then all the way to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, which we believe this is the final revelation.
I'm asking a question. The way I talk, you might think I'm making a statement for both. But I'll say.
Wait, hold on. Let me just get this out. So we believe that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, came with the final revelation of that message, which is the Quran, through the angel Gabriel to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. So it's the last. Yeah, so it's the last revelation of that message that Noah had, that Moses had, that Jesus had. It's the same message. This is the final revelation of that message. And there's no more prophets after Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. So this is what we believe. So we believe in all the prophets that came before, including Jesus. Muslims believe in Jesus. We revere Jesus. We believe in the Immaculate Conception of Mary. We believe that Jesus is the Messiah. You know, so we believe in the miracles that Jesus did, raising the dead, the leper, the blind, curing them, healing them. We believe that he did these miracles. We believe in the second coming of Jesus as well. So we're the only religion in the world that shares this commonality with Christianity. There's no other religion that shares that in common. So this is what we believe, and that's pretty much it. That's the whole summary of just Islam and our basic belief. Does that sound familiar, or have you heard of any of this before, or you have? So I would, the differences that come. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. The differences that become in this book and that book is in one thing. The only difference.
I want to ask you a question. Yes, what does the word Bible mean?
Oh, she's stretching it now. I know what she's doing.
Hold on.
No, why they have the word Bible on the book?
Bible, in the translation of the word Bible, means books or collection of books. That's what it means. That's what Bible means. Bible, yeah, I know. I read the Bible, though. I know what it means. Yes.
Someone.
Wait a minute, what is it? Basic instruction before leaving Earth.
That's what I heard.
What's that?
Basic instruction before leaving her.
No, that's just a very clever acronym that somebody came up with. But if you go to a real dictionary, dictionary, it's going to tell you Bible means books or collection of books. That's the definition. So I'm going what they teach you in school, not what somebody made up about picking acronyms and
you know that.
You know what? I'm sorry. I be telling people, listen, one thing about me, I don't read Bible like that.
Yeah.
But I have the faith of it's all about your heart and your soul. You read a book, and you probably don't have the faith in the book. So that's how I go by it. So I don't know what I heard the word Bible. Yes, I'm hearing it from somebody different.
Right.
I heard it from you different. So I can't really say, can I believe this man on earth what it means? So that's why I go by my faith of heart, the way the world is supposed to be. I'm sorry, I'm Jamaican.
Okay, Jamaican.
Yeah, so I don't really. I know. That's why I can't like say no.
I'm listening out.
So what do you believe? What is your belief? Do you believe in a God, a higher power, or does he have a name, or?
Somebody's asking questions.
He got a name? I pray.
To who?
I pray to my Lord, y'all.
Okay, who?
Do you have a name for him? Or how do you refer
Well,
to him?
I call him God or Jehovah God.
Why Jehovah?
Well, really, my mom, she was Jehovah. She always says.
Okay, right.
But,
So that's
my
This
reason
is
why.
what you were brought up with.
right.
Yeah, but
Did you actually ever research?
not really, because
Most-
I'm
most
not
people
really, I'm
don't.
not. As I keep saying, I'll be honest. I don't. I'll probably read the Bible and then read it for 1 second and put it down, because I'm
Do you
not a
believe in
reader.
heaven and hell?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't know about no. Actually, I can't say yes too much. Because they say there's a heaven and there's a hell.
Well, who determines who goes where?
I don't know.
Well, how do you know it?
I don't
How
know
people
who
say, oh,
I
you're
don't
gonna go to
know.
hell for that.
I don't know if I'm gonna go to hell or heaven. I don't know.
So how do you live
I'm
your
gonna be
life?
honest.
So here's
You gotta live your
here's
life in the right way.
Who determines this right? What's the guidelines?
You say who's the
What is the guy?
What are the guidelines?
listen?
Where did you get your guidelines
Listen.
Where did you get your instruction from?
No, your guidelines to say this is right or this is
well,
wrong.
well,
I
listen.
learned that from my mom. My guidelines was
So
right
what
and
happens?
wrong.
What happens? Listen.
But she wasn't a Jehovah's Witness at first. She was a.
What happens? This is what happens though. When anybody, and not just you, when anybody starts operating, when you don't have a faith or a religion, and you start operating your life and how you live your life, and you're just going to be good and this and that. Once you start doing that, without a guidance, everything that you do is coming from a subjective worldview, meaning that anything around you, you go with that. You go with your society. You go with the people around you. You go the people. So it's nothing that you're doing yourself. It's all subjective about what you think might be good or what the society might think they're good. This leaves you with very little guidance. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need an objective view. We need an objective view to tell us how to live our life. Objective means, you know what I'm saying, outside of us, to tell you what's right. You need an objective view to tell you what's right, what's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what's right, what's wrong. If you
No,
do
see, that's
something
just,
wrong,
but that's coming from inside of you. What's right and what's wrong? You know, like everything that's coming from your society around you. What's right and what's
if you
wrong?
did something wrong, like all this stupid gun
See,
stuff, that's wrong.
Listen,
Why would
anybody
people
can say,
have that?
listen, an atheist can say the same thing that you're saying. So someone who doesn't believe in God at all, an atheist can come to me and say, oh, I know it's wrong to steal. I know it's wrong to kill somebody or hurt somebody like that. That's normal. That's regular.
No, that's
Yeah,
normal.
that part is regular. But like, how do you feel about like homosexuality?
I don't feel what you don't.
Is it wrong?
To me, yeah. The Lord and
Why is it wrong? Why is it wrong?
Well, because the Lord is amazing. A woman,
'Cause of what?
A woman and a woman to be better, a man and a man.
Because the Lord? Well, how do you know?
I say it like that. That's the way I speak.
So how do you know this?
So my mind and my
What-
heart feeling tell me.
What tells you this, that it's wrong?
I can't say that's on my mind. Tell me.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be straight up. I can't really give you a good example. I said I don't read the Bible, but I listen and learn from people who's right and stuff like that.
Okay, so the main difference, as I told you before, between this book and that book is that it's the way that God and the prophets are depicted versus this. So the prophets are depicted differently in that book than here, and God is depicted differently in that book than here. That is the difference. It's not that they're different people or different deities, they're depicted differently. So in there, you know, people say, oh, well, it's a Trinity. Some people say, oh, no, it's a binitarian belief. You know, well, God has a son. No. In here, it clearly tells you, no, God is alone. There's nothing like him, nothing that even your imagination can imagine him. He's not begotten, nor does he beget. So that's what the Quran tells you. So it's completely different. It's completely different.
The Holy Bible won't say too much of that.
Huh?
He's trying to say that the Holy Bible book, that book won't say too much of that. Like
No.
you just said.
Well, actually, if you read the Bible, when you read the New Testament, Jesus in every teaching that he's doing there is always teaching worship the one God. He never teaches worship a Trinity. He never teaches, worship a Trinity or that God has a son and all of this stuff. He says, nope, worship one God. He's always submissive to the Father. He always praises the Father. Yeah, but that's not what some Christians believe. So another difference is that this book is uncorrupted, unchanged, and preserved Word of God. There are no errors, no contradictions in this book for 1,400 years. Not one. The book actually challenges you, the reader, to find therein a contradiction or error. If it's not from God, surely there'll be errors and contradictions. That's what the Quran says to you. So if you find the error and contradiction, then you say, oh yeah, this is not right. There's plenty of those here. Excuse me.
That's why you have it here. Now, what is y'all purpose out
So
there?
just like something real easy,
You're selling little stuff.
if you look at here, for
That's
example,
them over there. We're just borrowing part of their table.
I'll find just something real quick, simple.
That's what I like.
You're not selling anything.
Age of Isaiah, right? You go to 2 Kings. 2 Kings 8:26. Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri, king of Israel, right? So Isaiah was 22, right? Jerusalem, Athaliah, right? Now, if you go a little bit further, right, to Second Chronicles, right, 22:2. Isaiah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, same Athaliah, granddaughter of Omri. So was he 22 or 42?
Oh, you just tricked me out.
Well, I mean, it's right there.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
I wasn't
you don't got me.
listening. No, because we weren't listening. That's why.
One
I'm
says
not a reader like that.
one
So
says
that's-
You
one
weren't
says
listening, you tricked him.
one says
So you said
22.
one said 22, one
But he
said
don't
40.
say that. He should.
Yeah, I'm not saying it.
I want to say
One says 22.
I'm listening.
Isaiah
This
was
is-
22 years old when he became king. Isaiah was 42 years old when so that's
His
like
mother's name was
to me-
Athaliah. His
to
mother's
me,
name was
it was
Athaliah.
like kind of confusing right there.
Yeah, his mother's name was the
Because
same
which
Isaiah.
age would he be?
So what he's saying is, if there's a mistake there, where else can there be a mistake?
The age?
One of them is wrong. Listen,
Yeah,
one of
so
the
one
listen,
said 22,
listen,
one said 42. So I would go
listen.
by
The whole
age.
thing.
I heard you, but I'm like, wait a minute.
My whole point is that they can't be 42 and 22 at the same
No,
time,
no.
which means which one is wrong.
Yeah.
Which one?
Which one? That's what
So when he
yeah,
tells
that's what
You
I'm saying.
don't know.
He said it says so many years back, this is real. But he's
no
pointing out the
mistakes
mistake from the Bible.
So here you have a
So
mistake
which-
that can't be.
Second King 2.
Second
what
Kings
chapter is that?
8:26, and this is Second Chronicles
Oh, so it's
22:2. Two different books. Two different books. Yep.
Scripture in the book.
You know, and you'll never be able to know that if you don't have any kind of original manuscripts. Here's another one here, right?
No,
If you
I
go
got
to
really mad. I'm just not a reader.
2 Kings, look, 2 Kings 24:8. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem for 3 months. His mother's name was Nehushta, daughter of Nathan, Jerusalem. So Jehoiachin was 18 years old, right? You go forward here to 2 Chronicles 36:9. Jehoiachin was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem for 3 months and 10 days. So was he 18 years old or was he 8 years old?
That's I got what you're saying. Like,
Yeah, it's
which
a-
one is it?
It's a clear mistake. Okay, let's look at this here.
saying.
Look at this. Look at this in Exodus 21:20, right? And if a man beats his male or female slave with a rod, servant and slave, so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished, right? Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. So if you live a day or two, I won't be punished because you're my property. Do you think that this is from God? Do you think a white man wrote that? Sounds like a man wrote that to me. That don't sound like it's from God.
No, because I always say about the Bible, like, I don't think that's from God. I think it's a man wrote the Bible. How can you go
well,
with a Bible saying?
We know for sure that it was. We know for sure that it was. We know for sure that it was edited. Just when you see things like that, you know for sure it was edited. You know what I mean? Because God would never would say something. This is okay for you to be somebody's property, or you know what I'm saying. You can do that.
I'm not going to. Well, if I go to hell, I'm going to.
So for those kind of things, you have to think. You cannot put your salvation, your eternal salvation, in a book that you know has errors, that you know has contradictions. Because what it does is it means that you don't know what else is true. You don't know what else is false. You have no way of verifying it. So now if you look at outside of the Bible, so before I started reading into the Bible, I looked at outside of the Bible first to see where the book came from and what people say about it. So I only went to Christian websites, Christian scholars, things like that to get these answers. That's the only place you can get them from, right? People who study it. What I found is that the four Gospels, Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, they were written after Jesus by unanimous authors. They don't know the names of the people. They put those names in there because those four Gospels actually didn't have names to them. They put those names to them. They didn't have names on them. So they put the Gospel according to Mark, the Gospel according to Matthew, the Gospel according to Luke. They're not from. They're according. Not only that, there were about 49 other gospels in total. They threw those out and kept those 4. So the other ones, they said, oh, it's apocrypha. It's not real gospel. But why not? Who gave them the authority to decide? We don't know. So that I found to be a problem automatically, that you don't know who the authors are of the gospels. Because why would I believe something that I don't know? Not only that, nowhere in the Bible does it ever say this is the word from God. It makes no claim that this is the words of God. It makes no claim that the authors of the Bible were anointed. No, listen. It makes no claim.
I ain't saying nothing wrong.
No, listen. It makes no claim that. It makes no claim that it's from God. It makes no claim that the authors were anointed or given like that inspiration from God. It makes no claim. That's a claim from the church and from everyone else that that's what happened. But they make no claim. So they make no claim that they're anointed by God, that this is God's scripture, or that that there's the names of the authors in the Bible. So none of these claims are even made. The Quran, on the other hand, tells you this is from God. This is the word of God. Like, it makes it clear to you. Like, it's clear to you where the scripture is coming from, who your creator is, everything holistically explained to you in very simple terms. Allah is one. There's nothing like him. He has no partners. He has no sons. He's not begotten. He's not. This is what he tells you. You know what I mean? As the reader, this is what he tells you in the Quran. Now, when you see those differences, if you read in the scriptures yourself, you'll see you cannot put your faith in a book that has contradictions to errors, and you don't know where it came from. Wait, and you don't know where it came from. You don't know where the scriptures came from. The Old Testament, the manuscripts that they have are 1,200 to 2,000 years after Moses. You don't know what happened to that scripture, that original scripture. It's lost. The New Testament came after Jesus. We don't know what happened. People got their hands in it. There's verses that have been added at the end of Mark. Verses that had been added in 1 John 5:7, that verse is fake, it's fabricated. The adulterous woman, fake, fabricated. They removed it from the Bible.
Because I always used to think that too. Like, no, I'm thinking it's a man.
Listen, when they start removing verses from the Bible and saying, oh, it was falsely added, that has to make you stop and think, okay, you know what? People are adding these verses in. 1 John 5:7 was in the Bible for hundreds of years until we found the older manuscripts and they removed them from the Bibles. King James is the only one that still has it. But my whole point is, for hundreds of years, people read this verse and they believed it to be true. And they died on it for hundreds of years. Now they removed it. That's a problem. That's a problem, because now what? You're going to live and read that and believe what you... Meanwhile, we find something else and now they remove it? That's my point. Now, with the Quran, this is perfectly preserved. There's no revisions. We have the original language, which is Arabic. We have manuscripts that are carbon dated by Oxford University back to the end of the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. So we have technology carbon dated, right? Number 3, we have the names and biographies of the scribes who wrote the Quran. So we know that they're trustworthy people, good people in memorization. We have their biographies. We also know that the Quran was memorized by hundreds of people, including those scribes, before the Prophet, peace be upon him, passed away. So this is how the revelation happened. The angel Gabriel will come to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, give him the revelation. The Prophet would have it memorized, go to his scribes, recite it, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, he was illiterate. He couldn't read or write. So he would go to his scribes, recite it for them. They would memorize it and write it. This is how the revelation came. Okay, so it's perfectly preserved in this way. There's no revisions, there's no errors, no contradictions. If you burned every Quran in the world today, we'd have it back the next day. I have 3 people in my family that have it memorized from cover to cover, letter for letter, word for word, sound for sound. And they're like this, they're teenagers. Millions of people around the world have this book memorized from cover to cover. You know what I mean? This is part of the miracle. You know what I mean? That this book is preserved, and he tells you in the Quran that he's going to protect this book. It is we who sent down the Quran to you, and surely we will protect it. And it has been protected and preserved. So this is part of the reason that we follow what we follow. But Muslims just don't go on faith alone. Muslims, we go on evidence. Evidence. This book is full, has prophecies and things in it that human beings no way they could have figured out. No, you can take a copy for free.
Take this.
Take it for free. Yes, I'm sure.
Amen. Let's see her smile.
Listen to me.
She smiled.
Listen to me. This is just another book that shows you some of the miracles of the Quran. There are dozens and dozens more than this. It tells you about the embryonic development, and you can listen. You can reference it in the Quran that I gave you, and it'll show you here where it came from, what doctor said it, what book said it. You can reference it. Not only that, it's going to tell you. Look, it's going to tell you about the embryo, how the formation. Look, it's going to tell you in the Quran the mountains, right? So in the Quran,
that's like trying to tell you like how he created the earth. And
yeah,
stuff.
things of that nature, right? So like here, like let me give you an example. So here in the Quran, it says, "And he set firm mountains on the earth so that it would not shake with you." So the Quran describes mountains. Look, we have not made the earth as a, have we not made the earth as a bed and the mountains as pegs? It's saying that the mountains are pegs in the ground. You ever set up a tent, you know the peg goes deep into the ground to hold the tent in place. Wow. So it's saying that the mountains are pegs in the earth to keep it so it will not shake with you. So now we know that mountains are actually deeper in the ground than they are up top. So when you look at Mount Everest, you don't know that it's deeper than, you know what I mean? But 1,400 years ago, you would have not had the technology. You would have not been able to see that the mountain goes so deep into the earth. Not only does it go deep in the earth, it goes so deep that it goes into the tectonic plates to keep what? To keep it. It would not shake with you. How would the Quran know
like
this?
Right now, like although we're not on a mountain, so you could say like
She wanted to go to the mountains.
all of this is like
It's stabilized for you because of other mountains in the area. You understand what I'm saying? So here, they give you the evidence for this. They show you how the deep goes in here. They show you schematics deep embedded into the ground.
You think it's true what it's showing like that? Like it's trying to say there's really a hell down there? Let's go deep. Is it true like there's a hell down there?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we believe, as Muslims, yes, we do believe in heaven and hell. We don't say that it's down there. That's
Just don't know where it is.
We don't say that hell is, we don't know where it is.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. It could be right here.
We don't know where it's down there or whatever.
Nowhere left.
Yeah, we just know that there's a heaven and there's a hell, you know? So here, look, it tells you the formation of the universe. Here it tells you how there's a barrier between the waters, the ocean, the salt water, and the fresh water. Things you would have known until science today. You now we know that there's an actual barrier there. But the Quran tells this to you in the Quran. So I want you to read this and reference it in the Quran and go, how could 1,400 years ago an illiterate man know this? I want you to have this. Now, if you go to the back, look, if you go to the back, it'll tell you some other information, just general information about Islam. Look, human rights and justice in Islam, the 5 pillars. Look, what is the status of women in Islam? You know, just some other general information. Okay, take that. Yes, I want you to read that.
He already said they don't sell nothing. So listen, I know he will go today.
Take that.
His heart, Tracy.
There's just some other more general information about Islam. The back, that's the address to the masjid. That's the time that we have
Because
Juma.
I never heard of y'all before. So what kind of church and stuff? No, I only heard Jehovah's Witness baptism. I never heard of y'all.
You never heard of Islam?
No, I never heard
Yeah.
of y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, Muslims. Oh, I know that's Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You know Malcolm X was a Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know it's Muslim, but I never heard of it.
So look,
Yeah.
that's my
so
name.
Yes,
Yeah. So-
And he's the only one that didn't have to be drafted. You know, when they drafted when y'all was doing better.
I didn't know.
That's my name. That's my number. That's my email address. Okay, you can stay in contact with me. I want you to read the books, like open-mindedly, read the book, and I want you to question the book. I want you to challenge the book. The thing about today that we didn't have maybe 15, 20 years ago, this is the information age. This is the age of technology and information. You can find anything. You can find anything you want. Hold on. You can find anything you want and dissect anything you want online. There's no excuse for anyone. So I want you to challenge the book. I want you to challenge what you're reading and raise to me any questions you have, okay? I want you to contact me, raise any questions you have. What does this mean? Because what happens here is that this is another huge difference between this book and that book. This book is not open to interpretation. Okay, so she can't read it and interpret what she wants. You can't read it and interpret what you want. I can't. No, it's what it is, exactly. So it's already been interpreted either by the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, or the scholars that were around him at that time. That's it. So if there's something in here that you don't understand, you text me, let me know, and I will get you the answer, because there's no room for interpretation. That is where
going online and look it up, and it
yes.
don't be
So
having
that's where it differs from the Bible. What happens with the Bible is that everyone reads it and interprets it in their own way. That's why you have so many different sects of Christianity, because like she just said, Jehovah's Witness and Baptists, but they read the same Bible. That gentleman I spoke with before a couple weeks ago, he read me the verse from the Bible, same verse. He completely interprets it. They completely interpret it different than how Baptists interpret it. But it's the same verse. So this doesn't happen in Islam. Even the other sects that people say in Islam, like the Sunni, the Shiite, we all have the same Quran. We don't disagree about the Quran. We have the same Quran. There's no question about the Quran or the Hadith.
I totally agree with you, for real. It ain't like I don't know about the Bible. I just don't read the Bible like that. 'Cause I'm like,
but listen,
maybe a
but
man wrote that.
no, but this is what's interesting. What we believe in Islam as Muslims, we believe that God created every human being with a natural state of being. This is called your fitra. Your natural state of being is the way that God created you naturally without any influence. So in this natural state of fitra, you're inclined to believe in one almighty being, a power that's greater than you. You understand? That's natural. You knowing what's right and what's wrong. That's part of your fitra, knowing that there's a higher power, knowing that there's that's wrong to do that or that's right to do that. That's part of your natural state of being, which we call your fitra. And everybody has that. Everyone has it, even as a child. If you were left as a child on an island, you would still have that belief, that innate belief to believe, man, there's something powerful above me. This is your natural state of being. And not only that, this is half of being a Muslim is believing in that one almighty being, and then believing in the messengers that he sent. Once you do that and you believe that in your heart, this is what makes you Muslim. Then you can just take your declaration and you can learn from there. But listen, once you read all of this information and you have this belief in your heart, take your shahada immediately. Don't worry about if you're perfect. Nobody has to be perfect. Nobody has to be, stop eating pork and stop drinking and smoking this and that to be Muslim. You need to be Muslim first, then work on stopping those other things. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks that, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I have to do this. I have to stop doing this. No. Have the belief in your heart first. Declare the belief, then work on, because the fact of the matter is, if you're Muslim and you're doing all those things, there's still salvation for you. If you're doing all those things and you're not Muslim, but you believe that in your heart, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You have to once you have that belief in your heart, take your shahada, and then you go from there. You know what I mean? And I'll be happy, like I said, I'll be happy to help you with anything. You just text me, call me, hey, I had this, what does this mean? Or I was reading this, why did they say this? Anything. And I can answer any of those questions. Okay?
Am I right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're welcome.
And thank you for allowing us to do that. And she
Lucky I did stop.
But this goes for you too, though, because you're still on your journey too.
I know this.
Yes.
I know. I kind of said all this in my little way. I am on my journey.
Yes.
This is why this is why I stood here. Because I know it's well enough. We ain't got nothing better to do right now.
Yes.
Let's listen to something like benefit us.
Read the Quran. Did you have a Quran?
I didn't take it. But
She
I
said
have.
she got a hardback.
Put it like this.
Okay.
I halfway told the tale. The hardback was Jesse's, the guy.
I mean, you
I
still
gave it
got it,
back.
right?
No, I don't. But I know how to do stuff. But if I can take one, I will, and I will read it.
Well, you don't need to Google. Yeah, you don't need to Google
No,
stuff.
I'm gonna read because I ain't got nothing better to do. Don't mind me. I'm reading. Your house ain't go be dirty.
So in your so if you're going on this journey, you read the Quran. What have you read the Quran fully? Do you understand
No,
it?
I
Do you
did
have
not read it fully.
Do you have any questions about Islam? Because
I was just questioning him as a human, and I shouldn't be questioning him.
Yeah, well, that's what he got. how he operated and what he did, that's him. You know, humans have faults. So
Right.
Yeah. So he's
But-
just asking about the religion itself.
Do I have any questions about it?
Yeah. Because I don't know why you're not Muslim yet.
Huh?
Why you not Muslim yet?
Oh, that.
Because you're still reading. Listen. Okay. Listen.
Because I'm not sure what's right and what's wrong.
Okay.
I'm learning.
So this is what I'm going to say to both of you.
I need a leader.
This is what I'm going to say to both of you.
Who's my leader?
I got you. This is what I'm going to say to both of you. I know that you guys are still on this journey. You're still learning. We don't know when our time will be up. That's facts. It doesn't. It could be before. You don't know. Anytime you go to sleep, you don't know if you're going to wake up. That's how it is. This is how life works. Do not delay. Your worst enemy in this world is the shaitan, the devil, Satan, and he is going to whisper in your ear to prolong this journey, prolong reading the Quran as long as he can until you're at death's doorstep. He doesn't want you to reach that end goal. Read the book. Read the Quran. Question it. Because listen, again, like I said, you don't know when your time is going to come. Read the book because it's the truth.
Just like, I guess all religions would say, we don't know when the time is here, so we need to convert before the time. That's what
You need to establish the truth and come to the truth.
But
And
how do we really know what's the truth?
that's my whole point, is that if you read, like for me, I'm 100% sure this is the truth.
How long have you been? No,
You understand? But listen, in fairness, I have read this. I have read that. You haven't read them. That's my point. That's my point. Is that if you're not dedicating your time to doing it, because I'll be honest with any of my Christian friends, this takes a lot of work.
It does.
You have to read it. You have to go to the Greek. You have to go to the Hebrew. Sometimes to understand these things, it takes effort. It takes work. What makes it easier for us now is that we're in the information age, so we can reference a lot of stuff online, which makes it easier. You don't have to go to a library and all this. But that's just what I'm saying. Listen, it takes work. It takes time. But once you read these things, you will come to the conclusion, like I have. This has to be the truth. It has to be from God. There's no other excuse.
You pointed out something I didn't know, but I heard it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
wait a minute,
know
what
that
of them ages?
Never knew what?
About the age.
About the what?
The age was talking about the little boy. Was he something or was he 40?
Oh yeah.
I heard that.
Oh yeah.
You supposed to concentrate on that. That's a distraction.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm talking to you
That's-
now, not me.
Well, that's still a distraction.
Yeah. That's
Right?
just
Isn't that a distraction?
It is.
Because he was talking
Yeah,
to-
okay, go ahead.
That's just like Saddam.
I mean, it is. That could be Satan, trying to stop
that
y'all
is-
from
that
getting the
is-
truth.
That's true. That's true.
So I
Trying
know
to stop
all
you all
that.
from getting the truth. So
That's surely true.
I just
listen to me. Like I told you before, all of that can come later.
It will.
All of that can come later, and you will come to that decision on your
Because when she was
own.
getting out the car, I said, "Don't worry,
You come to that. Listen.
but I shouldn't say that.
You come to that decision. You guys come to that decision on your own. The most important thing
The knowledge.
is that you accept the religion in your heart, and that is the most important thing. After that, you work on, okay, I'm not gonna eat pork, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna smoke, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. You work on that later, and you do that yourself.
I did not try it all that.
You know what I mean? For some people, listen, it comes quicker than others. So you don't have to rush yourself, you don't have to pressure yourself.
Tell you where mine come from. I'm tired.
That's true. You're supposed to do
If
that.
God was to take you today, would you ever take me? I'm ready.
Because see, like my mom, she was a true person. Just sit, read Bible every day. They say never know when the time gonna go. And last year, October, she just got sick. She never seemed sick. Just got sick just like that. Went to the hospital. Had a stroke, blood clot in her brain, and died. She didn't die the same day. As I said, we never know when her time is, but she just every day sit at the table, read her Job and stuff. She always wanted to push me to be that, but I was like, I don't know if I want to be a Job. But to me, really, I don't really care what religion I'm in.
Yeah.
Job, this, that, as long as there's one God.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna serve the one God.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna jump from that Bible to that Bible to that Bible and say, there's multiple gods in the world. There's no, it's not.
Right. There's only one God, exactly.
Look at it.
All right, y'all have a good one.